What is something people need to stop making their only personality trait? I do MMA and some people get a little over the top with it. One guy was 2 classes deep and now walks around in full UFC attire and walks around with his hand wraps on law. I'm an asshole. They aren't an asshole if they are just being brutally honest, right? Shitting on something someone else is excited about for no reason other than to be contrary. Having been in the military, and I say this as someone who spent 24 years in the military, it's just a part of your life, not your whole life. Related to this, being a spouse of someone in the military, the amount of shade you get as being a spouse of someone even one rank down is just infuriating. I don't honestly give a shit that your husband has been in 1+ year longer or managed to kiss all the right assholes. It's all the same to me. I don't necessarily hate it in others, but I hate that mom has become my entire personality. I have 2 preschoolers and I am incapable of doing anything that I enjoyed pre-parenthood. I have no conversation to contribute to that doesn't revolve around kids or parenting. I work, take care of my kids, and sometimes at the same time because they get sick all the fucking time. My weekends revolve around kid activities. When I finally get some downtime for an hour or 2 at night, I am a shell of a person. Luckily my husband does his fair share and sometimes more, but it is literally all hands on deck every day. I am counting down the days until they're a bit more independent and I can gain some of my personality back. Being horny, it's fine to be horny, but please, there's a difference between being normal horny and annoying. Yep. I have a mate that always has to make a point about how much sex and gobbies he gets at home from his wife and how angry he would be if he didn't get it on the regular. Gets exhausting after a while, like, alright man, we get it that you're getting it daily. Mental illness. Or basically romanticizing it. Those fake Harley Quinn girls, Being dumb voluntarily. Weed, alcohol, I partake in both on occasion, but Jesus. Politics. This sounds like someone who supports the other guy would say. Get him, boys. Zodiac signs. This is such an asparagus thing to say. Drugs. Trauma dropping, I get it, you have suffered a fair bit. Let me just be sad about my dog dying, you don't have to tell me about how your dad died in a horrible accident straight after. Edit. I should add in that this is with meeting someone new, or like a workplace. If it's someone you know trauma dropping on you and you know they've been through stuff, then by all means I'm all ears. As somebody who is a part of the community, being LGBTQ, it seems to be going backwards. People are now viewing people as homogeneous groups based on their sexuality, race and gender. It wasn't long ago that it was only bigots who viewed people as homogeneous groups. I have an opinion here. I'm sure I'm about to ruffle some feathers. I don't necessarily think it's right to make your sexual orientation your whole personality. I say this as a gay man, by the way. But to each their own. I live my life how I want and everyone else should be able to live how they want, so if they want to make that their entire personality, who am I to say no? It just seems a bit immature a lot of the time to me. What I have a bigger and more legitimate problem with is the gatekeeping that goes on in the LGBTQ+ community against people who are queer in some way but don't want to make that their entire personality. When I went to uni, I went to join the Gay Straight Alliance. That's what it was on our campus. I know it's not the most inclusive name. I was told by one of the club officers that I wasn't, and I quote, gay enough. I am a homosexual male, forgive me for thinking that makes me gay. But because I was a beefy guy with a beard who wore all black and not a clean-shaven twink in pink, that meant I wasn't gay enough. That was the part that really rubbed me wrong about it. Like, I get that some people want to put their sexual orientation on display and all that, but I don't. It is a part of me, but it is not my everything. But because I didn't dress the part and look the part, one was told I couldn't be a part of the community. Sorry, it's a bit rambly, but I hope I explained my opinion well enough. Edit. I just wanted to say thanks for the award. As a nurse, I have to say it would be being a nurse lol. But seriously, this is something I've struggled with as well. It's just that the schooling was so damn brutal. All I did was study 24/7 for over 4 years. I dropped all my hobbies, and never went out. So when I was in the program and after I finished, it felt like I was unable to talk to people about normal crap. Been working on trying to fix that since I finished schooling. Their diet. It's what you eat, not your entire personality, FFS. But you are what you eat. Disney. Purposely disliking things that are generally liked. CrossFit. My friend, after he failed to convince someone else, will you do CrossFit with me? Me. Sure him, really? Laughing face, me. No. I said yes the first time so you wouldn't try to convince me him. That's fair. I'm an empath. If you were empathetic, or simply a somewhat decent person, you would prove that by doing, not by saying. I find people who say they're empaths are usually shallow, manipulative, and narcissistic jerks who want to label themselves as an excuse for being in a hole. Most actual empathetic people I've known absolutely hated being empathetic and would never brag about it. Smoking weed. Alpha male. They're MBTI. My God, stop typing me. No, I'm not an INFP or whatever you think I am. It's especially harmful when counselors, teachers or university officials, professors, and employers try to tell you that you're not fit for a certain career path, task, or major based on your type. Like STFU, I promise that MBTI and engrams are not a good reference for that shit. The fun part is when you take those tests and get a different result every time. It's almost like people change their outlook and approach based on situational awareness or mood or whether they've had breakfast. Being country. Fuck off. I know plenty of actual farmers who don't act like a character out of a Toby Keith song. Literally everything. Nobody should be defined by or define themselves by only one thing. Anime. Having mental disorders that they don't even have. I'm sorry, it must be my bipolar disorder acting up. Oh no, I've never been diagnosed, but I've read about it on the internet and I have a lot of the same symptoms. Being high maintenance. Sexuality. I respect how you identify, but let's talk about anything else. Dog mom, or dog dad. Veganism. ADHD. Going to the gym. Astrology. It's meaningless. You clearly must be a Capri Sun with a Gatorade moon. The college they went to decades ago. I'm surprised it's not near the top, but their car and X200B. I'm looking at you, Tesla owners. Harry fucking Potter, you're most likely a fully grown adult now. Figure out who you are and read literally any other book. Defining yourself by introversion and extroversion. It's actually not technically the big overarching personality trait everyone thinks it is. For instance, I love socializing and having fun with people and can be loud and bold, but I require alone time to recharge my battery and get my energy back. My boyfriend is the opposite. Socially pretty quiet and laid back, but he needs to be around his friends and people to feel energized. So yeah, being social and chatty doesn't necessarily equate with extroversion, and being quiet and shy doesn't equate with introversion. Being brutally honest, you're literally just rude and can get away with it.